Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. That was my Shemp. Shemp? Three Stooges? Anyways, wow. Holy moly. Okay. And I just read one little section of 2,200 pages of stuff that just got released again. Dispatch, logs, interviews, tons of stuff. I haven't even processed what was released the last time. I was literally getting close to making a video, really just thinking about a couple different topics, and focusing in on something, which I still may do. But it's just so shocking, man. I just don't fully know what to make of all this stuff. I went through Adam Herbets, I think is his name, from let me pull him up, man. Adam Herbets. I forget what outlet he's with. Fox 5, and he's a spot on dude, man, and he really digs deep into this stuff. He really does, and he's open. He's open to whatever. He'll examine anything. That doesn't mean you know, he's fair. I mean, he looks at everything and he rules things out. He knows just about a lot, and he accepts questions from people. I see in his Twitter feed. I see people. Wag Og was asking him a question and he replied. He's a good dude. He seems like. Okay, let me read this summary here first, and then I'll try to read some from the actual document, the interview with the Las Vegas Metro police officer and this hairstylist. So. Well, it's not a summary, but they just kind of put in the important parts here. On file 20, a person who was a hairstylist made a voluntary statement to police that they had a client named Paddock who said he couldn't believe they made the concert outdoors because anybody could shoot into the crowd from the casino across the way. The hairstylist also mentioned a person matching the description of Mary Lou Danley, Paddock's girlfriend, who arrived at the end of the haircut. The stylist said, I asked her, do you know what he's been saying to me? She's like, oh, what, about somebody shooting into a crowd and, wanting to hurt a lot of people? The stylist told police that the client said, I wonder what she's worried about. She'll be out of the country. The stylist told police they reported the incident uh, to Metro. And there's some debate there in terms of because the hairstylist believes she did call Metro 3 days later after this hair appointment, hair cutting Paddock's hair, who should be on their system because I think it's a national chain and they have a way of tracking people. They enter people's information into the system. They ask them their phone number, their email address. They don't always give it and stuff like that, but he should be on the system. That also was another thing that came up is that when she's speaking to this Metro police officer, it turns out that the FBI had interviewed her or interrogated her a few days earlier already, and she got cold feet because they were saying if we go and we look on your system, we don't find anything. It's not that you're not lying. It's not they were saying. She's saying that the FBI said to her, it's not like you're lying to us, but if we don't believe you, you know, whatever. So do you want to go ahead and recant everything you've said to us so far? And then she recanted, something like that. Okay, so let me just try to go through some of this stuff. It's so hard to read and just go through the important parts. So, but I'll get to it. I had this guy in my chair. He was talking about the arena down on the strip. I didn't know anything about it because I don't go to the strip like most locals don't. He said that it was an outdoor arena and that he couldn't believe that they made it an outdoor arena because anybody could shoot into the crowd from the casino across the way. I said, that's strange. You're right. That doesn't make sense, but obviously it was for a reason. He just kind of was rambling about just weird stuff. I felt very, very uneasy. I remember the last name was Paddock. The lady came in after, right when I was getting done with the haircut. What lady? I think it was Mary Lou Danley. Okay. I don't know. It was an Asian lady. I asked her, do you know what he's been saying to me? She's like, oh, what? About somebody shooting into a crowd and, wanting to hurt a lot of people? And I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, she had something, she had said something to him. Then it gets real jumbled up. And then it goes down to, and he said, I wonder what she's worried about. She'll be out of the country. They left. I felt very uneasy. And probably about 3 days later, I called and reported it to Metro. I know I called. I know I reported it to Metro. I had told them, this is probably something that's just crazy that I'm probably overreacting on, but it was really strange. Do you remember what number you called from? I don't remember what phone number I called from. What possible phone numbers could you have called from? And then they try to narrow it down to what number, what phone she called from. And he took a couple possibilities, and they don't. He's got to follow up on that. And maybe some of the inconsistencies that are in these document dumps get resolved in later document dumps. I don't know. I mean, there's so many. So, but they go through that, go back and forth. And then she starts to talk about the FBI, because then he was like, oh, because she says the FBI interrogated her too, a few days before. And that goes back and forth. So, she says, I would think so, but apparently the FBI already did that. I don't understand. They said that there is a Paddock. They do have a Paddock in the system, but that's the other thing. How do you know the FBI already did that? That's the detective. Because they said that they told me, and they did subpoena. They did subpoenas and went in. Who told you? And she gives the names of a couple of FBI detectives. I mean, it goes on and on. It's totally crazy. So, and you gave them all this information. They actually contacted me because they wanted to interrogate me and tell me that I would be in a lot of trouble if they sent in their Uber geeks and got into the computer. But as it stands right now, there's nothing in the computer. And if they go in and they don't render anything, that's going to be helpful. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. And they don't believe, or it's not that they think I'm lying, but for me to tell them the truth, if you recant your statement right now, then we'll just walk away and we'll just say have a nice day to each other. I got so upset that I said, you know what, just put on that I recant. I'm done. And I got out of the car. I mean, I read that as best I can. That's just like this conversation she's having with this detective, that this interaction with the FBI that basically said, if they get into your system and he's not there, or this stuff doesn't match up with what you're saying, you could be in trouble. And so they're saying, do you just want to recant everything? And so she says she got upset and got mad. She said, I do recant, and got out of there. But then a few days later, she's talking to this detective. But they still weren't able to narrow down, what number she called from to report it to Metro, because there's no record of her reporting it to Metro. And that's where it stands for now. And that's just one. That's like a 17-page interview of 22 pages of another document dump of all sorts of stuff, police reports and so on. And that's it for tonight, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And thank you so much, Anna Susanna. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.